everyone, and welcome to a brand new Wrestling Thoughts of the Week. Haven't done one of these in a little while. We've had quite a bit happen this week with WWE WrestleMania 36, AEW Dynamite, and more. So I thought I would put a video together and give you my thoughts on wrestling over the past week or so. My thoughts on many different things this week: the Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse match, WrestleMania 36 in general, AEW Dynamite, and more. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what everyone has been talking about this past few days or so, and that is WrestleMania 36. I really enjoyed WrestleMania 36. It was over 2 nights, and for me, I actually thought it was a fun, entertaining WrestleMania. I didn't expect it to be. I went in with very, very low expectations. I thought without a crowd being there, it was going to be difficult, and I did find a couple of matches difficult to watch without a crowd. And I think some of the wrestlers had a little bit of trouble maybe adapting to it. Who wouldn't? It's so alien to not be performing in front of anybody. It must feel so strange, and to be in that very sterile environment must have been very, very difficult. So, credit to the performance who went out and did it, because it must have been easy, and also our first taped WrestleMania in history. So, a very different dynamic for the performers, for the camera people, for the audio people, for everybody involved, all the people behind the scenes that are doing things there, because they had to do it all a different way. They had to do it a way they'd never done it before, and that's not easy, not from any standpoint. Like I said, whether it be television production, through to wrestlers, through to audio guys, everybody, it must have been a real huge challenge. So credit to everyone in WWE for putting on a tremendous event. They kept us entertained, took our mind off the world at the moment, and just gave us some fun wrestling to talk about. And that was the great thing for me, was I was distracted, and I think the guys on PWR, Pro Wrestling Report 360, Damien Nelson, David Hero, said the same thing. They had 2 days where all they were thinking about was WrestleMania, and that was a lovely, lovely thing to have, and to me, super, super important, especially at this very difficult time. Now, in night one, what I was most impressed with, I think what most people were impressed with, was that Boneyard match. That, to me, was absolutely fantastic. It was so different, and obviously, a lot of credit goes to Matt Hardy. He's been somebody who's been championing that style of cinematic match. He may not have been the first person to do that cinematic match, but I think Matt Hardy has helped popularize the concept, and I really dug the concept. It was new, it was different, and again, WWE trying something else, trying to do something different. And actually, I think that's a good thing for WWE, because they oftentimes will go with the tried and tested and will do the normal match, or what people expect them to do. And this Boneyard match wasn't any of that. It wasn't the expected. It reminded me of like a long film fight. It was great. It was like a fight in a movie, and like 2 guys going at it, and it was just the verbiage backwards and forwards was great. I think they used their environment that they created to their very best, and it just felt so different, and it absorbed you. And that was the thing. I think I'll use that word as well later, absorbed. I was absorbed into that match, and I was very, very impressed with it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So, Boneyard match for me, Undertaker, AJ Styles, I thought was great. The tag match also at the beginning of the night, the ladies in the tag team match, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross becoming the new ladies tag team champions. Fantastic match, and good pace to it. I just felt it was difficult without a crowd. It just felt so strange. Nothing wrong with the wrestling. It was just so weird to see WWE without any fans. It's just so strange, and it's a strange thing to get used to, and I don't think I'll get used to it. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's something that I felt, looking at it, that was that one element that was missing. So, great credit to the performance, but again, going back to the crowd, very hard to have them sort of not down the show. Night 2, again, I'm going to go straight to it. Firefly Funhouse match. I'm smiling about it. I'm smiling about it. I thought it was a fantastic piece of storytelling, and people were kind of going, "What on earth is this? Like, what have they done in terms of this match?" I think a lot of people afterwards were going, "What on earth is this?" But I went back. I probably watched this match 3 or 4 times this week, because there was some stuff I missed, and I want to go back and look at it again, and try to understand what this match was and what they were trying to present and what it is. And again, this is where that word comes back in again: absorbing. The Firefly Funhouse match was really, really absorbing. I just felt it was again like the Boneyard match. It was different, but it was different to the Boneyard match, and it was. I think I heard them again saying Peter Brouwer, and it's a very, very correct analogy. It was going through and cross analyzing John Cena and his wrestling decisions and his wrestling life decisions, and going through like with Cena at the beginning, the ruthless aggression, going through his career, and then the promo segment, the 80s promo segment, might have been a special promo maybe to Cena when he was growing up, and that might have been again going through Cena's mind, the NWO. Um, what if Cena had turned heel? Would he have been like Hogan in the NWO? What would it have been with John Cena? You know, all these different things, which the Bray Wyatt WrestleMania match 6 years ago, all these different things. I just thought it was fantastic. Puppet Vince is over with me now. I love Puppet Vince. That that was hilarious, and that got a pop out of me when Puppet said, "This is really good shit." Like, I did not expect that, and that got a huge pop. I absolutely loved it. And Eric Bischoff appearing on WWE programming after only being fired, later last year. That was absolutely incredible, and really, really cool to whoever decided, let's just go for it, let's just do it, because it was creative, it was fantastic. I loved that NWO segment, and also, very, very cool to see that actually they used Bischoff's promo, and they had Bray Wyatt, as Bischoff, quote unquote, delivering that introduction. I just thought there was so many layers to it, and it can be interpreted so many different ways. My version of how I interpret it, being getting into John Cena's mind and his doubts and his fears. Also, just going back, again, the other thing I got a huge pop from Bray Wyatt when Cena's trying to slap him, saying ruthless aggression, and Wyatt laughs and says, "You can look, but you can't touch." I just, oh my god, what a reference! What a fantastic reference! And so again, going back to one of maybe John Cena's biggest mistakes, the engagement that didn't happen with Nikki Bella, all these little things in it as you go along. So that match I just thought was tremendous. I will talk about the WWE title matches. You can tell by the look on my face, I'm not particularly impressed with them both. I'll start with Braun Strowman beating Goldberg. It was what it was. I mean, it was a spear, slam, slam, slam. That was it. And it was like, oh, okay. Right, next. I mean, I don't know what there is really much to say about it. I don't really have much to really say about it. It was what it was. But I did enjoy the Drew McIntyre Brock Lesnar match a bit more on night 2, mainly because I'm really invested in Drew. I've seen Drew wrestle in the UK while he was on the independent scene, and what a talent! And for us in the UK to see one of our guys, of course, he's Scottish, but it's all part of the UK. I will take credit for Drew McIntyre, with the WWE title. But it is very cool to see a guy from the home nations, win that WWE, title from Brock Lesnar, and be top of the pile is really, really cool. I was a bit confused what they did afterwards on Raw. There's another wrestling thought of the week. The Big Show match after the Lesnar match that happened at WrestleMania, apparently, and That was just weird to me. I was just like, why are you doing this? Why not just build up to a regular match afterwards? Or was it because Drew had to go home? Maybe I did wonder whether he had to get a flight, and actually they just did this, so they had it in the can to do it later. That may have been a reason. It just felt weird on Raw. It felt very, very weird. So those are some of my standout thoughts from WrestleMania 36. It was different, but I hope people enjoyed it, and I hope they appreciate the effort that WWE and all of that crew went to make that show happen. That mustn't have been easy, going into the Performance Center and trying to figure out a new way of doing things. Really, really not easy at all. And I just want to say again, I really appreciate WWE going to all that effort to give us WrestleMania under the most difficult circumstances. Now, today I have been watching AEW Dynamite on my AEW Plus on Fight TV. I really love AEW Plus. It's made my life so much easier. I can watch AEW when I like. I haven't got to wait for the shocking ITV, which if you're in which if you're in the UK, you know ITV wrestling is just dreadful, to be honest. So I was able to watch AEW Dynamite this week. I've got a lot of highs from this show, but I've got one low that I do need to talk about as well. So I'll start with the highs, and with the low, I will be as constructive as I can, because I think AEW has been fantastic. It's been such a good show, but there was one thing I do need to point out towards the end of the show. But I really enjoyed the show. I enjoyed Nakazawa and Omega being together. Omega's got two sides to him. He's got this fantastic wrestler, this guy that can have a great match with anybody, but he's also got this fun side. And we saw a lot of the fun side with him and Nakazawa, and the best friends, and I really enjoyed that. Again, a match that put a smile on my face, and something that I thought was really entertaining. So do check that out on Dynamite this week. The other things to check out that I thought were really, really good: the Jon Moxley, Jake Hager promos. There was one in the first half of the show. There was a kind of a shorter one in the second half of the show, and it included so many different people around Jake Hager, which I thought was really cool. It was Jake himself, it was Catalina Hager, his wife, and Josh Rafferty, one of his trainers for MMA. And what I liked about this was that it was Jake Hager being Jake Hager. It was him being himself. It was him. That's who he is in real life. He doesn't do fighting and wrestling for the accolades. He does it to provide for his family, and that was a very real, raw comment, and I liked it. I thought it was great because it adds realism into Jake and gives him depth, and he's him, and that's the version of Jake Hager I want to see. You know, the guy who is himself, who is going to go out there and he's going to win matches so he can provide for his family. There is nothing more real than that. And I just thought that was a real clever thing to do. He's got that air of confidence and arrogance that you need as a dual sport athlete. He's got that ability. He said himself, there's a reason I'm in AEW, there's a reason I'm undefeated, there's a reason that I am in the inner circle. I am money. And he's not wrong. He's money. He's money to AEW. He's money to Bellator. He is money right now. Jake Hager is absolute money, and I think the promo stuff with his wife as well, I thought was fantastic. You could see and feel, it didn't feel forced. Catalina was like, we win, and you know, he doesn't want to come home to a loss. And I've seen him tweet that before. Like, I've seen him tweet before he's had an MMA fight. I don't want to go home to my wife and tell her I've lost. Like, I need to win. And it's real. And it's, again, Jake being himself. And I just thought it was a really well put together. Well done to AEW for putting something together that gave so much more depth to Jake, and explained and gave his wife some airtime as well, because you could see the people around him, Josh Rafferty, talking about dual sport athletes and how he's the only one who's doing it and being successful. You know, you can see everything around Jake Hager, the inner circle of Jake Hager, which I think was just really cool. Also, we got to see Jon Moxley. see Moxley working out, talking about how it's going to be an all-out fight with Hager, how he perfected the DDT, and 4 seconds later, Hager's got him in an ankle lock, really building Hager up to be that massive threat to Jon Moxley and the AEW World Title. I'm certainly looking forward to this match next week. It's a no holds barred enter arena match on AEW. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be absolutely tremendous. Who's going to win it? I really, really don't know. And I honestly don't. I personally, from my personal perspective, I'd love Jake Hager to win because I think you could do something very special with him. I just think where he is right now, he's undefeated in Bellator, he's undefeated in AEW, that Jake has such an upside to him, and there is so much you could do with Jake going forward with that as well. And also with Jake winning that title, eventually he's going to have to lose that title. And when he loses it, whoever beats him, that's going to make them, because they're going to be the first person to beat Jake Hager in AEW. And it's going to make that person mean so much more going forward. So I can see, in my mind, Jake Hager definitely is AEW champion, but also Moxley hasn't had that title long. And would they go the other way? Would they say, let's have Jon Moxley be that guy? Let's have Jon Moxley be the guy that defeats Jake Hager. I really have no idea where this is going to pan out and which direction they're going to go in. The great thing about AEW is I can't predict matches. I struggle to predict matches in AEW because I generally don't know going into, and that's really cool. Like, I love that about AEW. Like, that's where the passion has come back in AEW, because you don't automatically know everything, and if you automatically know everything, what's the point in watching? They give me a show and they give me a presentation that I don't know which way it's going to go. So I want to tune in next week because I want to see who's going to win, Hager or Moxley. So that, I think, is going to be fantastic. You should definitely watch that next week on Dynamite. I think that's going to be absolutely incredible. Another thing to mention about Dynamite, Chris Jericho on commentary was tremendous. The number of ways he announced Tony Schiavone's name, Schiavone, God knows what else. It was fantastic. I loved it. That is Jericho at his best. I think he was absolutely fantastic on commentary with Tony Schiavone. We got to see a promo from Matt Hardy as well. Matt Hardy is just, again, been tremendous in AEW, and he just continues to build back that mystique and that broken Matt Hardy character that he hasn't had really since he left Impact Wrestling. I know it was in WWE, but come on, it wasn't. WWE went behind it, and that wasn't the Matt Hardy I want to see. The Matt Hardy I want to see, the Matt Hardy I love seeing, is the guy that can be himself, be creative, and do the ideas and the creative thoughts that he has, which he knows works, which he knows will transcend to the fans and be able to do things his way. And I think AEW's giving him that opportunity and that chance, and I'm super love Matt Hardy being in AEW. Talking about the debuts as well, another thing, Lance Archer just looking like a badass. I love the theme music. Everybody Dies. I love the theme music. It suits him so well. I know he's had it previously, I think in New Japan as well, but I mean, what a monster. He's just an absolute monster. If Lance Archer isn't top of your list to win that TNT championship, then I think you need to go back and look at stuff, because I think we're looking at our first TNT champion there, because I think Lance Archer's going to be a champion, first run champion there, and in AEW with that TNT title, and I think he's going places big time. Massive debut for him. Destroyed Marco Stunt. Destroyed another guy this week on Impact. A very hard hitting, impactful match. Not meant to Impact. I don't know why I thought it Impact. But a very hard hitting match from him, and dominant, just dominant. And talking of people that are dominant, Mr. Brody Lee of the Dark Order, another promo with him, with some guys outside. One's dressed smartly, the other two aren't. He scolds the two that aren't, and tells the guy who's dressed smartly, he's got a job for him. But we don't see that other guy again, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. But Brody Lee comes out and again just wipes the floor with his opponent. absolutely destroys them, and leaves the ring just looking again, that word dominant, just absolutely dominant during that. Now the down part, and I have got to give a down part this week, and there is something that is really, really bothering me about AEW, and it's the main event. It was Cody versus Shawn Spears. Now, I am a big Shawn Spears fan. I like Shawn Spears. I think he should have had a better shot in WWE. Didn't get that shot. Shawn Spears came to AEW. I love the music. I love the presentation. I love the entrance. I love the chairman gimmick. I love Tully Blanchard. I love what he has done. Shawn Spears is a tremendous, tremendous talent. So my question, and I put this on Twitter, why did Cody have to beat Shawn Spears again? Cody already beat Shawn Spears. He beat him back when AEW first started, when Shawn Fighter first hit him with the chair and then had the match following. So why did Cody have to beat Shawn Spears again here? If Cody has to advance and it's all part of the storyline, then fine. But why have Shawn Spears be that guy? Cody's now beaten Shawn Spears twice, so there's no reason for Shawn Spears to even have a match with Cody in the future. Also, during that match, Cody goes through a table. He goes from the ring to the outside of the ring through a table. He hits Shawn Spears with a crossroad twice and still wins. That to me just seemed a bit illogical, and I was like, I don't quite understand that. I just don't think it helped Shawn Spears. I think Shawn Spears shouldn't have been put in that situation. I think they should be doing more with Shawn Spears. I think Shawn Spears didn't need to be in that position. My own personal opinion. I just don't think it does anything at all to help Shawn Spears. What does it do to help Shawn Spears? So that he can hang with Cody again, but he's still not good enough to beat him. Remember, wrestling perception is reality. And I love the stuff that AEW do, but this is one criticism, like I said, that I had this week that I had to get out. I don't think they helped Shawn Spears. I don't believe that was the right call. And if that was the case, why not swap opponents around? Why not have Cody go against Kip Sabian again? You swap over Shawn Spears to somebody else, or you move around Darby Allin, or you move things around, make it different. I just felt Shawn Spears just deserves I think for me, a bit of a run. He deserves something, because he's been there, he's been working hard, he's been putting over everybody else. But I think for me, Shawn Spears, he deserves now. Something he deserves a run in AEW and to show what Shawn Spears can do. So for me, that was the only kind of downside to that was that kind of that ending there. But it's one of the first matches down in the AEW TNT tournament. I may not agree with it. Others may like it. It's just my opinion. Again, I'm just a wrestling fan with an opinion. Doesn't mean to say I'm right. I'm not an expert. So like I say, just my opinion on that. But overall, I think we've had a fantastic week in professional wrestling. I think we've had a WrestleMania that is going to be memorable for many different reasons, the good and the bad. And for me, I've got to say, I really, really enjoyed this past week. In that, although I've been stuck at home and been working from home, I've been in here a lot. Wrestling, WWE, AEW has just given me a chance to escape, and that's been really good, and it's been something that's been needed. Just to be able to escape for a few hours has been incredible. But we'll see how that what happens with that going forward, because I know there are now restrictions coming in the US, Canada, other places. Also, wrestling thoughts of the week, I just mentioned my collar and elbow shirt arrived this week. I got my discount code from the Pro Wrestling Report. This isn't an advertisement, but if you watch the Pro Wrestling Report, Dave Hero, every episode will give you a discount code. I used the discount code, and I got myself 2 of these collar and elbow mirror tees. I got this one in grey. I got another one which is black on black, which looks absolutely fantastic. So if you want some cool t-shirts, some cool wrestling merch to wear, collar and elbow brand, go and check it out. Go and see their website. Check out Pro Wrestling Report, because you'll find a discount code on there which is super, super handy. And I think the last discount code they did was at least 20% off, so definitely worth checking that out as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for interacting. I hope everyone is looking after themselves. everyone, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you follow all the guidelines in your country and from your government. And most of all, look after your family and keep in touch with your family and friends during this very difficult time. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.